Aloha, you guys. Randy and I made it to Hawaii. We've been traveling all day long, probably, I don't know, more than 12 hours, several different flights. I have lots of stories for you. But I want to welcome you to Oily Friday, and I apologize that I'm coming to you in a recording this week. Um, but for the next several days, you'll have recordings from me versus being live. But thank you guys who are on the Facebook group page right now, live watching Oily Friday. We're going to be talking about gut health and essential oils. And really, this is something that's a really familiar topic by now. Like everybody's been talking about gut health for a long time. We probably discuss it ad nauseum, but the reason is it's just really, really important, and all the different things are kind of connected to our health, our gut health. And so, really, what prompted this week's Oily Friday is that I had just been getting a lot of different comments about some of the changes that I've seen and other people have seen since I've been working a little bit harder on my gut health. I'm one of those people, I'm kind of on and off. So, like, I know the things to do, like most of us, right? And then when I do them and really get good results, it's fun to share that. So I wanted to just kind of tell you guys my story, what I've been using, and inspire all of us to keep going with it. So my internet's really slow. Um, so give me a second for these to download, and we'll get going. So Ashley and Amy, I definitely stole your idea of creating a presentation right here in Camtasia. Not Camtasia, in Canva. I'm actually doing the recording in Camtasia. But I really like it. That's a great idea. So if maybe that's something that we'll do on one of the Tried and Tested Tuesdays, we'll tell you about Canva. So gut health and essential oils. Here was a really, and I hope that's not blurry for you guys. It's a little blurry on my end. But this was, I thought, was a great diagram from Dr. Axe that kind of shows what happens with leaky gut. So if you guys have had leaky gut, candida, diverticulitis, all these different gut issues, you notice will have some of the same effects. So what I'm going to talk about tonight are some things that I learned from recently from gastroenterologist and from my naturopath, who I love. I'm going to be telling you guys a lot more about him too. And just some more details about kind of how these things are connected and some common things that they all have in common. So leaky gut, diverticulitis, what was the other one I said? Candida. Anything in the gut can cause some of the symptoms that you see here. So look at the top there. It talks about depression, anxiety, ADHD, acne, rosacea. So all kind of skin problems. Sometimes you will have the just weird breakouts that you don't know where it came from, all over your body, really bad acne that'll appear and disappear, thyroid issues, adrenal that's become so popular now. Like one of the symptoms that we see a lot are the kind of the thyroid adrenal, and you're not sure which one is going off, and you go to the doctor and your numbers are normal but you have all the symptoms. So all of that can be connected to gut problems. So of course the colon, constipation, diarrhea, joint issues, that's another one you might not have thought of. Fibromyalgia, headaches, and all the kind of chronic pain, chronic fatigue, all these things are connected. So I just found that really fascinating that even though this one is focused on leaky gut, any gut issue can cause some of these things. And then some of them have their own specialty. So here's my story, the part one of it, right? So that picture on the left, I took just last month. And was really shocked to see how bloated I was. But this happens. And so, I talked about when I was telling you guys we were going to do this, that lower belly bloat that's just like hard, you can't get rid of it. And so that was there. But even here, you can see in my face so much. And the first week of starting to clean out and staying on the program from my naturopath, I lost 5 pounds the first week, and now I don't know how much I lost. And I still have a good ways to go. You can see, but wow, I'm really happy with the results so far. You can see it in my face. Of course, it's a slightly different angle. I am holding in here, but guess what? I was holding in here too, and I had a girdle on. So what does that tell you? These jeans don't always button very good, and so they've been buttoning really easily. So you guys know that feeling when you go from feeling really heavy, just you don't feel good. You don't feel good in your skin. You can tell that you're bloated. It's just a gross feeling versus feeling a lot lighter, and that's what I feel now. So it's a really, really cool feeling. The weight loss is just kind of extra, but my skin being better and brighter and smoother, more energy, more balanced, all that kind of stuff comes with cleaning out your gut. So let's talk about some of the symptoms that I've heard you guys talk about and that we've talked about together, especially if if you've been watching this, you know that I've struggled with symptoms from endometriosis and then gut issues, and a lot of you have too. So what are some of the symptoms that we've talked about kind of in a group? One has been nausea, just like, oh my goodness, it hits you and you don't know if it's something you ate. Do you have food poisoning? I have no idea. And so many of us have that symptom. Sadness and frustration, that picture I thought shows it perfectly. Is like you get out of the bed and can't go any further. I can't tell you how many times I hear that. And it really affects everything that we're trying to do, because if you don't have motivation, everything frustrates you. It's really, really tough. So that's one of the symptoms. Poor digestion. So this is a perfect picture to explain what I've dealt with and what some of you have told me you've dealt with too, with the gut issue. So this is how you can be in the morning and then just after a meal or two. Look at the drastic difference. And I know for sure that's happened with me. It's like, how do I go from this to this after just a couple of meals? And a lot of that, and having a background as a health coach, I knew some of this stuff already. But recently working with a gastroenterologist and naturopath really kind of cleared it up even more. So finding out what you're not able to digest, and it's not the same for everybody. That's so important. That's one of the things I wanted to share with my story and what I've learned from these two doctors is that you really cannot cookie cut. That's super important, because a lot of programs out there, they'll say, okay, you have to stay away from dairy, you have to stay away from meat, you have to stay away from any kind of grains or sugar, you have to stay away from all these different things. And everybody's body is different. So yes, I definitely have made some changes with what I eat. I'm not eating, well, I already wasn't eating meat. You guys know I pretty much just eat fish. But the dairy, actually, my naturopath did a test on me to tell me what my body needed. And actually, it needs dairy. I was shocked, because that's something that, most people are like, absolutely not, do not have dairy. But I was right with the meat. Like, it doesn't want meat. Fish is fine, but other kinds of meats, no. Beans, that's something I eat a lot of, and that was really good for my body. So it's so good to find out what it is that you are not digesting properly. So some of the programs out there will tell you no beans, no rice, no lentils, no, all these different things, but everybody's body is different. So if you can find a naturopath in your area that does the testing, that tells you what your body will digest the best, that's what you really want, versus just going through a program that just cuts off everything. Some of those programs are good because it can kind of help to cleanse. And then when you reintroduce foods, you'll know which ones are causing you not to digest properly. Here's another example of like the women's health issues. The endo fibroid pain can also be worsened with gut issues. And that was so interesting. There's a correlation between not eliminating properly and having fibroids and tumors throughout your body. So when we talk about doing cleanses and things like that and really getting the colon and intestines to work properly, getting that gut to work properly, all these things are affected It's really phenomenal when you dig into it and learn that. This was a great picture. I've had breakouts like this before. Um, just erupt, and then they'll go away. But just unusual skin issues. This is what I mean by that. Again, connected to the gut. And so I just wanted to revisit this slide after we kind of talked about those things to again show how all these things correlate together. So what are some things that I learned for sure help with gut support? So like I said, as a health coach, I had, we cover this stuff in class. These are things that we talk about, but I just have gotten another layer of it working with doctors. And so I really encourage you guys to, yes, work with your health coach. And most health coaches will also tell you to make sure that you've also talked to your doctor. And I encourage you to find a naturopath that has the technology that can tell you what you specifically can digest, what you're allergic to, and what your body wants and doesn't want. It is not the same for everybody. So here are some things that helped me, and that was recommended. Probiotic was recommended highly by the gastroenterologist, so traditional medicine, and by the naturopath. But guess what? Not everybody can take probiotics. So you really need to, again, make sure that you're tested for that and make sure that it's okay for you to take it. Fiber, a lot of fiber. So most of us are told that to make sure we have fiber. One of the big things that, again, I was told from both doctors, elimination is so important, and we should be going 3 to 4 times a day. Crazy, right? Number 2, 3 or 4 times a day, and most of us don't do that. Some go a couple of days. And when that happens, that is causing that whole leaky gut issue and some of the other issues. They're all kind of cousins to each other. So you can totally understand how that can happen if you're taking in food and, for one, the nutrients are not being absorbed, but then also if you're not eliminating, where's it going to go? And it just kind of stays in there and reverses back into your system and just causes a whole big mess. So that takes us to cleansing. So that's something that's really important in relieving constipation. Exercise also helps tremendously. Again, not everybody can do the same kind of exercise. So talk to your naturopath and find out what kind of exercise is good for you. For some conditions, for example, if your adrenals have been really heavily affected or your thyroid, you may not be able to do a lot of cardio. You may have to do more of like Pilates and strength training, and even at that would need to be limited. So again, find out exactly what's happening with your body before you dive into a program. Various supplements. I'm going to share with you some of the supplements that have been working for me. Positive thoughts. That's something that, again, I was really impressed with this traditional doctor because she really echoed a lot of things that the naturopath said. But positive, happy thoughts really actually helps your digestion, elimination, and all these other symptoms. It all works together, your mind and your body. So we're kind of learning a lot about that, right? So that's super important. And then who you have around you. So you want to make sure that your support system, that you have a support system, and that the people around you are people who lift you up, and not people who, when you're around them, you've got pain in your stomach because they make you nervous, or they're not loving to you, or you're not loving to them. So you really want to take a look at your association, your friendships, and how those things are going, because they really can affect your body and your system. So these are some of the things that I'm taking that have been super helpful. The cleansing trio. So I take more than one enzyme. This particular enzyme that's in the cleansing trio is a maintenance enzyme. So you take that between meals. Comfort Tone is an extraordinary product. We've reviewed that before, I believe, on Try and Test It Tuesday. We've definitely talked about it before, but it's great for cleansing and kind of helping move along elimination without being drastic to your system. It also is great for absorbing toxins, as is ICP, and with ICP, you're really going to be getting your fiber in there too. So cleansing trio is excellent to start with. This is the other enzyme, and this one is designed specifically to break down fats, proteins, and carbs. So you take this one right before you eat, and most people would only need one. I'm taking both right now for my situation, but you want to find out from your naturopath what kind of enzyme do you need. but this aids in proper digestion, and this is more for maintenance. So if you know that you're having, again, if you're having trouble eliminating, this one will probably be a great one to start with. And then this Life 9 is a powerful probiotic. I think I've reviewed that one too. And what I want to tell you about Life 9 is I got it and it worked really well, but I have been told that you should switch out your probiotic. Well, that may not be true. It made sense to me because just like, we don't want to always be eating the same vegetable. You're getting the same benefit from eating that same thing over and over again. But what about the rainbow over there of things that you haven't tried? So I thought, it makes sense to switch out. But again, both the naturopath and the gastroenterologist said that these probiotics are strains, and if you have the appropriate strains for your body that you need, and it's a good quality, then you can continue to take the same one. Well, like I said, I didn't know that, and I did find some really great ones out there. For example, Garden of Life, I think it is. They have a really great one. You can get that one on Amazon. And I was switching it out with Life 9. And then I tried this new one. Have you guys heard of Activated U? It's a advanced restorative probiotic with 30. So this is 9 strains in Life 9. They have 30 strains. And so I thought, that's what I'm going to switch out with next. So when I finish this bottle of Life 9, for my switch out probiotic, I'm going to go with this one. So I did, and it made me so sick. Like I was deathly ill. I won't even go into the graphics of it, but super sick for like 12 hours. So gratefully that they have a really easy refund policy, and I was able to send it back. And for now, I'm just going to stick with Life 9 because it works really well. And then if I find later that I do want to switch it out again, I'm going to go back to Garden of Life. So here are some other things that were recommended that have worked well for me. Again, exercise, apple cider vinegar. So that would be first thing in the morning. Jason Winters, the health coach that works with us quite a bit, he talks a lot about apple cider vinegar, so check out his page on that. What was recommended for me by the naturopath was to have it in the morning. I have it with a hot cup of ginger tea and just a spoon of the apple cider vinegar. And then it was also recommended that I have it after every meal, so I've been doing that. And then I've greatly reduced sugar and carbs and grains. Do you have to eliminate them? Depends on your body. You will hear that, you absolutely cannot have any sugar, carbs, or grains because the sugar, anytime you have even a little bit of it, it feeds the bacteria in your system. Well, what I learned from the naturopath was that sugar also feeds good bacteria. So if you're not having anything at all, it could possibly give you some negative impact because you need it to feed the good bacteria, just like it feeds the bad bacteria. I'm not an expert on it, but that's what this naturopath told me that I trust really well. He's done really good for Randy and I. So that's what I'm going with, and it's working so far without me having to be really drastic. But I'm not even having honey, and that's something I usually have. Rice, I'm not having too much of, and let's see, even brown, but because of the testing that I had, even brown rice was saying that from my system, again, it's not something you want to just come off of, but for my system, brown rice wasn't good. But I do have beans, but greatly reduced everything else, and I really feel like it helps with the inflammation and the bloating. So as you start to figure out what supplements you want to use for supporting your system, we always talk about Young Living because that's our company. But why would you want to take advantage of Young Living or take a look at Young Living as your supplement of choice? Well, here are some pointers on that. The first one is that we have above the standard quality. So when we think about standard, what is the standard out there for good quality? We think about organic. Our systems and our quality testing are above the requirement for organic. So we have better than organic. You can find out about our quality and how we test and how we grow from seed to seal at the website seedtoseal.com. So I have it right there, seedtoseal.com. You can get all the details on our product. So that would be the first one. Young Living is not the only company that has quality supplements or essential oils, but we definitely are we feel like we set the standard. We are the oldest company for essential oils and really pioneered this whole effort on bringing back essential oils into regular day life. The other thing that you get with us is education. So you'll see from the website, thebusinessofoils.com, our page here, Facebook page, people have really been complimenting us on the education that we give, do it yourself, recipes, tips, webinars like this that talk in detail about some things that you can do to manage your health, and a variety of subjects we cover. And you get that here with us. And also a community. So it's not just about you getting a kit and getting started and then you don't hear from us anymore like you do when you go buy off the shelf, but you really have a community, a support, of accountability to help you with whatever your goals are. And then the last thing, why Young Living, is that it has a supportive income attached to it. So versus when you go buy at Whole Foods or Amazon or anywhere else, that's just that purchase. There's nothing else coming along with that. But with us, you get the extra education, the community, and an opportunity to have some income along with that. How does all that work? Well, let me just take you, what I'm going to ask you to do is to go over to thebusinessafoils.com. And at the top of the page, I would share it with you, but my internet's not great, so I'm going to leave it for you guys to do. Thebusinessafoils.com. Go to the section that says The Business. Click on that. And in the menu, you're going to see a link that says Income Disclosure Statement. So take a look at that, and that's going to introduce you to what's possible for those who decide to also have an income opportunity with Young Living. So all of that comes with it, and that's why Young Living, all of those things. So whoever invited you to come take a look at tonight's webinar, please get back with them if you have any questions. Again, I thank you guys for those of you who are watching live on the Facebook page right now. Put comments and questions right there in the page, and one of us will get back to you with them. Or you can reach out to us individually. And if you're watching the replay, I thank you too. I mean, you guys have a lot going on. Everybody's busy. And when you take out time to watch our webinars and our classes, we really appreciate it. So that is it for today. You guys have a great night. Bye.